guys. So how's everyone doing? I hope everyone's okay. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Um, we're going to be doing some maintenance on the Navajo grow beds. So it's an impromptu live. They're actually my favorite ones to do when I tell you guys I'm going to do them. Some of you may remember a couple of months ago, a couple of months ago when we actually started this grow bed. This is one of two grow beds. Here's one, the other one's right next to me. These were donated to us very graciously by the Navajo Nation located here in the state of Arizona, in the southwestern United States of America. They were a little bit, well, in great disrepair, but with a little TLC from my amazing family. Got these guys back to life, and you take a look, they're thriving. And this is the ending, it's the end of our winter greens that you'll see here. And we have everything. We have some cabbage, we have Mizuna greens, we have mustard greens, um, and I forgot what it's called. Sort of like lettuce, endives, whatever it is. I forgot what it's called. But chard, all types of lettuce. Second stage celery and second stage lettuce in here. And when I say second stage, it's a form of progressive gardening that we do here. If we keep the pH level and just the nutrient levels correct in the soil, in theory, you should be able to garden all year round, if weather is permitting. Like certain things you can't do when it's too hot, and certain things you can't do when it's too cold. But weather permitting, like it is now, there should be no reason why you shouldn't be able to garden year round. You keep your soil right, and progressively you transition out plants. Now, when I say progressively, you'll transition out plants with plants that we grow in our Together We Grow gardens. Before I go any further, guys, hit like, hit subscribe. If you happen to catch this later on, please do so. Also, check out our brand new website, togetherwegrowaz.net. That's togetherwegrowaz.net. No more togetherwegrowaz.com. That's done. It's togetherwegrowaz.net. Everything is in our full control now. Everything is in our hands, as it should have been from the beginning. I should have done this a long time ago, but with all of the recent advancements and progress that we've made in our gardens, especially with social media, content and awareness, better late than never, right? So let's talk a little bit about progressive gardening. So in our secondary grow bed, I think you guys can see this, you'll see second stage lettuce. It means it's planted late in the season, technically planted late in the season, because these are winter greens. But because I planted them when I did plant them, they're going to thrive. And they're going to have a full living, full giving experience to us. They're not going to bolt too soon because it's only February. So you got February, March, April, maybe early May, these guys may start to bolt, maybe. And I've had enough experience in Tucson to where I know when it gets hot. Also, we're going to equip both grow beds with temporary shade enclosures, and it'll probably be netted, the black cloth net, and we go between 60 and 75% because it does get hot out here, and it works perfect for our gardens. Now, another step with traditional, what progressive gardening is, the leafy greens that you see in here now, obviously we're not going to grow these all year round. As these second stats, as a second batch of leafy greens that we have in the garden, the celery, the lettuce, the smaller chard, as this grows and as it gets mature and as it bolts, that's when we're actually going to switch out, and we're going to start in between now and then planting our tomatoes and planting our peppers, because I'm not for certain, but we should pretty much be over all of our deep freezes, fingers crossed, in the wonderful city of Tucson. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to grab this camera. I'm actually going to see if I can give you guys a better view of the plants. Oh man, hey, thanks you guys for checking in. I appreciate it. So here we go. Let me see if I can give you guys a better view of the garden. There you go. Because I want to actually explain some of those things I was talking about. There you go. That's a good view right there. So, right here, we have second stage lettuce. And that second stage lettuce is because if you look at all of the taller plants around it, these guys were here earlier. So I'm actually going to try to get a bumper crop out of this second stage lettuce right here. Same thing with the celery here. Same thing. I think you can see the celery here. The bok choy in the back is actually going to bolt. And I plucked where it's trying to go to bolt and flower it. I plucked those off, because through my experience, I've learned that bok choy still retains a lot of that flavor, and if you cook it, and even because it does have that little peppery crunch on the bottom end of it, even if it's raw in a salad or in a dish, it still tastes great. But that's my personal preference. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide how you want to do it. Let's see. So here's a good example of that first stage crops. Part of my little mess in the back, guys. You can see my little workout area back there. So this is all, it's a very much living, it's a very much active garden. We're constantly doing something back here. This is actually Mizuna greens right here, and this is an Asian mustard green. And it comes in a variety of colors. There's green, there's purple. They all have this peppery punch right at the bottom end of it, which I love in salads. Use it moderately in fresh salads, but it also cooks down like any typical green would. We've gone over some of the greens recipes that we used before. Feel free to share any favorite recipes that you may have in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Now, anytime we're out here, guys, especially like these flowers like this, where you see they're in bloom and they're in blossom, you're gonna see bees. And you're gonna see a lot of bees in our yard. And I can't lie to you guys, I'm super excited about that. Let me bring the camera back over here real quick. I love it when the bees visit because it's a sign that your garden's healthy and that you're doing things kind of right. So here I am again, guys. Thanks. Just thanks for hanging out. We're not going anywhere yet. We're still going to be doing some discussions about the garden. While we're on this side, I want to remind you again, please hit like, please hit subscribe, follow, check us out at our new website, togetherwegrowaz.net. That's togetherwegrowaz.net. I literally built it because I love all of the comments that I've been getting from you guys, and all of the messages, all of the emails. Especially, you guys actually told me for the third time in the last 2 months that togetherwegrow.com was down. And that's non-cipher. That's not good. That's not good at all. You guys deserve the absolute best, so that's what we're getting together for you guys. At the moment, our systems are not available for sale because of supply chain problems that we're having. Everyone's suffering from it. We're going to make our way through it just like everyone else. Stay strong, my friends. Stay strong. But as soon as they are available, they'll be available for purchase and for order online at togetherwegrowaz.net. Once again, that's togetherwegrowaz.net. You can also check me out on Facebook on Together We Grow or on Chuck the Sandman Collins. I'm always out there. Everything's always gardening. Everything's always green. Everything's always fun. You guys can give me a minute. I will be right back. Just sit there. Seriously, I'm going to leave the camera running. Hang on for a second because I am going to go get some niger seed for our bird feeders. And I am going to get some regular bird seed for the bird feeder over there. It's important and pertinent that I feed the birds. If you guys notice what you don't see while I'm in this backyard, you don't see pest bugs. You don't see mosquitoes. You don't see that many flies flying around. You don't see gnats. That's because my secret is I attract the natural predators. I attract the birds in. If you have the birds, birds eat protein too. The birds are going to take care of the protein. So hold on 1 second. I'll be right back, my friends, with some bird seed for my beautiful feathered friends. Also, while I'm gone, if you have any questions, please, please, please hit me up. Love you guys. Right back. Now, when it comes to feeding our feathered friends, we try to find and buy everything in bulk, as big as we possibly can, because, another thing, always encourage, right back, let me get my gloves, always handle your bird feeders with gloves. Birds do carry zoonovirus, I believe it's pronounced, and those are diseases that can transfer from people to animals and back again. Zoonosis, I think it is. So, we want to avoid that. Always have your gloves on when you're feeding your birds. At least try to. And if not, even with the gloves, or if you don't have the gloves on, please wash your hands as soon as you're done. You don't want any of this nasty stuff getting to your family. So I know in the northeast, actually the north of the United States of America, they are getting pounded by quite a bit of snow. So if you guys back home are actually watching this, I hope this offers you some type of respite, some type of break from that awful weather out there. I believe back home in Utica, New York, in upstate New York, love you guys. I believe there's a no travel warning, and I think it's till Wednesday. And I know Mayor Gallamy wouldn't recommend that or wouldn't advise it, wouldn't do it unless it was necessary. So guys, unless you actually have to be out there moving, stay your butts at home, please. Be safe. Now I'm going to approach this quietly. I want you guys to see something. What you're not going to see, knock on wood, you're not going to see me get stung. All right? Now, we have the pollinating flowers, a few of them over here, not that many. So what you end up seeing is, mind you, it's February. There's a bunch of bees, 6 or 7 bees on the bottom of this bird feeder, hummingbird feeder right there. And that's because they're not on the other side of the yard where all of the pollinating plants are at. So I'm not even going to touch that bird feeder because I respect the bees. In all of my years that I've been here, and we do get asked a lot of questions on, do you guys have Africanized killer bees, quote unquote, in Tucson? We do, but they're hybrid, and you know, a lot of times there's fear spread about them. So if you're allergic to bees, just be careful around bees in general. But I've never been bothered, and I'm not like the weird bear guy from Alaska who's like, oh, the bear's my friend, let me go pet it, and then it ate his head off. It's not that. I'm just not going to bother the bees. They're doing fine over there, so I'm going to let them go about their beautiful business while I be right over there taking care of that other bee. Give me 1 second, guys. So while I do have you here, I wanted to remind you guys that I am the recipient of the University of Arizona's Ag Department, Ag Science Department, Science Communicator of the Year. And it's because of amazing folks like you. Just think about it, guys. I was alerted by YouTube earlier today that I've been on YouTube for 6 years. For the first 4 of those years, I had 52 subscribers. And now we might be closing in on 55,000 pretty soon. And it's all because of amazing folks like you, providing support, encouragement, and just the kind words. They go a long way. But more so, I got to ask you guys, if you can, subscribe. We want to build these gardens out. We want to put something like this, of this type, or this design, one of these gardens, one of our sustainable systems, in every school in the country if possible, in every yard, in every house. They call it a fool's dream, but guess what? I wake up wishing that I could just have treasure every day. So if I'm going to be a fool, I'm going to be a fool for good reasons. I want to feed you guys. I want to eradicate the term food deserts. I do. I grew up in one. It was awful. My grandmother would have dreamt of having something like this. She's the reason I'm doing all of this. I love you, Mama. She's the reason I'm doing all of this. If I can do this, and I couldn't grow to save my life back in Utica, New York, if I can do this, I assure you guys, you can definitely do this. So, a bit of advice, and this is just me personally, when it comes to feeding the birds. I don't necessarily fill the feeders up fully. Fill the feeders up fully every day. I'm just kind of full of limericks today, ain't I? But I don't necessarily fill the feeders up all the way every day. That's because birds have great memories, and I want them to know that they have to get her early in order to get the seeds. And if they get her early enough, they're going to get them. It's going to be plenty of food for them. Birds also communicate, so they'll tell more birds. Yes, they'll tell more birds to come in. The bird web. The birder net. Wait. I just screwed that one up. The social media experiment, formerly known as Twitter. That's how birds talk to each other. Full of them today, my friends. So we have our primary regular seed full up. And I'm taking my time doing this with you guys, but in the upflip video, and if you guys are here from the upflip video, thank you for being so darn awesome. Hawk just flew overhead. Cooper's hawk just flew right overhead. He's making a circle. He might be coming around. If he comes back, don't be surprised if he lands right on this fence when I'm talking to you. Actually, he's on the telephone wire back there now. Let me get this over here. The Cooper's hawks, they do frequent often. Many of you guys know that. There's an entire family of them generationally. They've been here for over a decade. So I believe it's new ones, new babies that are coming out of the tree now. The huge oak tree behind me, but it's new babies coming out of the tree now. And through generations, they know, because we've been here almost 4 years now, they know to come to this yard because they know there's food. Let's just say it's nice grocery shopping in this yard, and we'll leave it at that. Nature is nature. Nature is nature. They don't scare the birds away. It's not a constant stalking. They're not just swooping in all of the time, even though that would be kind of dope to look at, because I like Godzilla. I'm all over the place with this. But back to the gardening, guys. We are going to move over to the second grow bed. Here you go. So you guys can take a look at this one. Now this is the second grow bed that was donated to us by the Navajo Nation. And I recently posted pictures of my son Justin and I refurbishing this one, doing the soil, and putting the plants in. I also have a video, I haven't posted it yet, but I will, I promise you guys, where I'm actually releasing a population of red wiggler worms into our system. Now, I always encourage, if you have a traditional gardening system, something like this, incorporate worms if possible. Now watch me not find one, because I'm trying to find one. I bet you I don't. Yeah, they're down there, like, mind your business, Chuck, don't bother us. Look at that beautiful, beautiful, dark soil. Now I'm gonna bring some of this over. I just watered this, so it is wet, but I want you guys to see something. This is amended. I don't want to get too close to the camera, but this is amended. So this has got layers of soil, layers of perlite, and then for the top 3 layers, so that's maybe 4 inches up, 4 to 2 inches up, there are smooth layers of where we put our own compost that we make from our countertop composter into the soil. That being said, look at the colors on these plants in this garden. The outer leaves, the ones that you see that are a little dim, that are a little faded, those are the early leaves. Those are the ones that were the bigger leaves when we first put this plant out, these plants out here. If you look at the ones in the center though, they're vibrant, they're bursting with color. The roots have already progressed. They've already reached out from that root bundle. When we first got these plants, when we first brought them here, they're already expanding and have already found their food source. So these plants couldn't be happier. This is a great example of second stage progressive gardening. Let's take a look. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants. One in the middle, one in the middle. Was there one in the middle? Oh, I thought I had one in the middle here. I did move it when I put the RC tracks out here. But that's for a reason, because in a couple of weeks, not even maybe a couple of weeks, maybe this week, right here, I'm gonna put a tomato. Right here, a pepper. Tomato, pepper. Tomato, pepper, tomato, pepper, bam, bam, all the way down. As it gets a little bit warmer, and it will be getting a little bit warmer, our lows are gonna be going into the 50s, I think next week and the week after that, and our highs will probably be in the mid to upper 80s. So this lettuce is going to be wanting to go into a second stage. It's gonna be tempted to bolt a little depending on how cool I can keep this grow bed. So again, I'm glad that it's not in the soil, because if it's in the ground, because if it was in the ground, then the temperature of the soil is determined not by me, but determined by how hot this ground is getting. I can somewhat control the temperature through this raised grow bed, through watering, through shade cloths, things of that nature. I can extend the growing season for these plants a lot better than I could if they were just in traditional gardening in ground. So as it does warm up, like I said, you'll have your tomato plants, peppers, tomato plants, maybe not peppers, maybe not in that order, but as they bloom out, and I call it the umbrella, as they spread out and they umbrella out, it'll provide some type of shade, some type of cooling function for these winter plants, for these late stage winter plants that I have in the garden. See, it's progressive gardening. You're planning ahead of time. The soil is already amended. All it needs are the plants, but there's no reason for your garden to sit bare for any amount of time at all. Say, for example, say you got food on your plate right now. Just because you eat that food off that plate, does it mean you're not going to be hungry tomorrow? But what if you don't have food tomorrow? At Together We Grow, we encourage you and we teach you. We show you how you can continuously grow year round. Sometimes it may not be in the same system, sometimes it may not be the same style of garden, but there's always a way to get it done. We've done all of the hard work and spent countless hours and years, literally years, doing these experiments so that you guys don't have to. I hope you're enjoying the live so far. Oh boy, look at that. So, we're going to do now, I want to take you guys. Hey, hold on, my friends. Pardon me. Let me get back down there. There we go. Hey. And we are going to go to the other side of the yard where we have our sustainable gardening systems, our aquaponics, our hydroponics, things of that nature. So let's take a look at the living wall. We will be transitioning out of the living wall system as it heats up. And there's good reason for that. Because with the living wall system, we have, I believe it's a 17 or an 18 gallon reservoir. So that means that on average, we'll be filling that as it heats up, we'll be filling that reservoir every single day. Now, the thing with sustainable gardening is, yeah, it's okay to get out there and get exercise, get out there and get to know your garden. But when it's too hot, it's too hot. So with sustainable gardening, we're going to focus as it gets into the high spring and early summer. We're going to focus onto the gardening system that we don't have to go out there and water every single day. That would be the traditional grow beds that you see back there, the Navajo grow beds, as well as our hydroponics tray system. So I'm going to let the bees, oh my God, look at those beautiful bees behind me. I'm going to let the bees do their thing. I'm going to get over there and I'm going to actually finish up my breakfast. I hope you guys have had a great time hanging out with me. I know I had a great time hanging out with you. Don't forget, Together We Grow, Together We Grow AZ.net. That's Together We Grow AZ.net. Go to the website. You can go to our contact page. Read the information carefully. Contact us. Let us know what you're interested in doing in your house. Once you do that, we're like the A-Team. Remember, for you guys that are a little bit older like me, there was a show called the A-Team where they would find out if you needed them. You'd send them a letter or something, and they would discuss and figure out if they could help you, and then they would be there for you. And that's how we want to do it. I don't believe that there's an all-in-one kit that you should sell for everyone. I think that's BS. It's absolute BS. Let us make the sustainable system that's right for you. That's what we want to do. Bob's not Bill, Bill's not Harry, Harry's not Rick. Everyone grows a little bit different, but we all need to eat the same. Until we talk again, peace and blessings, my friends. Plant that first seed, and together we grow. Peace.